find it ironic when a sad song gets mistaken for darkness, when it's really just honest. Art is a voice for the broken, for the weak. For some, it's our only license to speak. Surrendering words and notes to their crafts, awarding my emotions time to steep. I often sacrifice my slumber while the static gets a good night's sleep. My wick burns on endless fatigue. Coloring outside the lines, I allow my thoughts to be a little less modest as my creative process holds me hostage and protected on house arrest. With visions and sentences I feel directed to untangle. They tie an anchor to my ankle and sometimes I drown. But somehow I'm safe. Because vulnerability shouldn't be such an invasion of privacy, but our nervous systems are consistently choking. We weren't created to consume this much hatred, rebranding degradation with, I'm just joking. So we forget how to communicate outside of a trauma response. We forgot how to simply dislike something without calling it a seance. But it's not surprising. The whole planet is flammable, nothing more than a theater of rivalry. Even inside the sanctuary, a broken home playing family, constructing man-made detours when sometimes the hand of God just looks like a hand quietly grabbing yours, comforting a blurry mind, a friend reflected in tear-filled eyes, free from uptight lingo and conjured up spiritual excuses. It is okay when words render themselves useless. You know, some of the strongest people I've ever met have such a sweet, tender touch, while some of the meanest haven't really been through much. That doesn't mean I believe you need to tread the flames of hell to learn how to love well, but it does imprint a pattern, a noticeable repetition. Those who have been humbled by heartbreak know how to listen. Listening, the lost ministry, a gift seemingly ceased, so few can hold their peace under the pressure of silence, foaming at the mouth, desperate to disagree, trained by poachers on all sides, baiting you with reactive rage, and most of them just crave a chamber to writhe in. Is that an echo chamber or torture? You define it. But you can't expect to earn the trust of someone else's mind when, in the name of passion or some sanctimonious alibi, you belittle their life experience, flood them with hypocrisy, and crush their spirits. The composition has been compromised. You cannot focus with bad lighting and a dirty lens. How dare you claim to love your enemies when you can't even love your friends? A question. Something for us all to face. When you look in the mirror, what's easier for you to fake? A smile or a tear? Probably a smile, right? The more acceptable aesthetic. Happiness is lovely, but heavily synthetic. So I find it ironic when sadness gets mistaken for darkness, as if darkness is all bad. We tuck it behind secret doors and accuse it of seduction. Maybe I'm just biased, but without the dark, light would never shine its brightest. You'd never see the stars, you'd never soak in the full production. Freedom gets sweeter when you've tasted addiction. There is no resurrection without the crucifixion. When woe is uprooted, oh, what a harvest. Show your work, a plea to artists. Sirens, harmonize your melodies. Hypnotize us with hope, a remedy when truth bends. Like a paintbrush telling us a story as real as breathing in pages of a sketchbook sipping on charcoal, animated and wrote out like a scroll. Writers, invite us into your worlds. Cinema, shout action on your film. Actors, introduce us to your characters, enchant us with lines, and let liner around the eyes express fierce confidence when a face becomes a canvas. May we be mesmerized by the shadows a dancer designs. Let us unwrap the essence when met with a culinary master. Comedians, stand up, oppress us with laughter. Photographers, please capture our moments. I pray poets never give their words permission to cower to legalism. I beg you musicians, don't give power to the prison of other people's opinions. I want theaters to roar with curtains, costumes, and applause. I want to hear catwalks hiss with provocative fashion. Because art is a supply for deeper conversation and a beautiful display of compassion. So we sew, we draw, we write, we sing, we strum the strings with hearts contrite and emotions raw. How easy it would be for us all to just protect ourselves and freeze, hiding behind our decorated walls, archiving our gifts, producing nothing but a shoulder that's cold, especially now when divide and conquer has won its gold. When time withers like a cigarette, inhale the ashes, or whatever's left of it. I've been in mourning since I was 9. A little girl grieving those who are still alive. I turned to writing to iron out the wrinkles in my mind because paper and ink always provide an asylum to weep, where no one can tell me what I believe in is a lie, where I'm allowed to change my mind and I can rest in grayscale instead of staunch black or white. A journal has lines, but they like to be crossed. I can trace my x-rays and write a song in the texture of my scars, which is why I find it hard and somewhat novice when a sad song gets mistaken for darkness, because for me, all sadness has ever wanted to be was honest.